We're talking about, I love calling it grounding, but
I like
the other
calling
word,
it
earthing.
earthing. I do like calling it earthing. It's a weird word, and I like weird words, but.
Hey. Oh,
Hello, hello, welcome.
Welcome to the real
Healthy
you.
And we're back again for another week of amazing healthiness and, okay, maybe not.
Maybe not. Well,
We're here to talk about some good,
some
interesting
exciting.
stuff.
I like this.
I'm Jamie, and that's Barbie. For those of you who
Still.
don't know, she's the mom, I'm the daughter. So for those of you who may not have seen us before.
You mean you
have
can't tell the difference?
Whatever.
Well,
I look like
thank
my
you,
dad.
Jamie. No, but I look like a mother. You look like a kid.
Well, here's the thing. I don't have my lavalier on. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on now.
Go do that, Jamie. You go put that on.
I'm not sure if it's going to make a difference, but maybe I talked so loud I jumped in your lavalier, but I don't know.
Oh, that's okay.
So anyway, so hi guys.
That's okay, my love.
We are talking today about grounding.
Mm.
And for those of you who know I have 6 kids, I'm not talking about
Punishment?
that kind of grounding.
Oh, no?
No.
You're not talking about punishing them
No.
kids?
And I'm
Oh,
also
okay.
not talking about this kind of grounding.
Coffee?
Nope.
No coffee grounds?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
And I'm not also talking about when your breaker trips and you have to have that
you have to go
grounded
in.
line,
Yeah.
by the by the shower and stuff like that, by the sink. Not that kind. What kind?
We're talking about, I love calling it grounding, but
I like
the other
calling
word,
it
earthing.
earthing. I do like calling it earthing. It's a weird word, and I like weird words, but anyway.
Yeah, but earth.
I like earthing. It's kind of strange because you're making earth into a verb, but earthing, grounding can be so confused with so many other things, and I think that's one reason why, just for the clarity of it all. But a lot of people will still call it grounding or earthing. And so we're talking, if you've heard of earthing or grounding, put a comment, like put it in the comment below, or a thumbs up, or oh yeah. If you have no idea, question mark, like what do you make the question face? But we're going to talk about grounding. There's a lot of amazing things to talk about. What it is, how it works, where it came from. We're going to talk about the many, many benefits of it. And I think you're going to really be surprised, pleasantly surprised, at how amazing grounding or earthing can be to your body from a health perspective.
That's right. And it's very simple.
Very simple.
All you got to do is touch the ground
Touch the
with
ground.
your bare skin.
So that's what is it. So what are you talking about? What is grounding? What is that? That's what it is. It's contacting the earth. Bare skinned is best. There are other ways, and we'll get into a lot of the sort of nuances. But simply, it's just contacting the earth with your body, with your bare skin, hands, feet, whatever.
That's right.
Maybe you don't like nature. Maybe you're like, ew, are you talking about going outside?
Yeah.
Are you talking about touching dirt and ew?
Yeah,
worms
with
and stuff?
your bare feet.
Yeah, and like digging and gardening. Are you talking about going outside in the woods or something? Maybe you are not that person. Maybe you're like, ugh, yikes, and you want to turn off this podcast right now. Stop in the name of love.
That's
okay,
right.
maybe not love. Stop in the name of earth. Stop in the name of earth. We have other solutions. So if you're not an outside person, do not fret and do not press the stop button. Keep listening, and you'll be amazed at how you, the non-outside person, can still get grounding in a really healthy way.
And it's funny you said that, because you know what was brought to my mind right now?
What?
How many times you all these, my kids, you in particular,
Yeah.
would make mud pies.
Oh, yeah. We played in the dirt all the time.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. And then there's that rainstorm. Oh my gosh, it rained really, really bad. And the lot, we lived in the city, and so there was this empty lot, and it was muddy because it had rained so severely. It was just mud.
Shoes off.
there were like
Squish.
10 or 11 of us in the neighborhood, right? The kids. And we went out there, it was warm, so we had shorts on, and we took off our shoes, and we were running and playing, throwing mud at each other. We were sliding in the mud. We were mud fight, having the best of times.
And it's funny because what you were feeling was the squishiness in your toes and your feet in that mud. It was such a good feeling.
Yeah. We were also feeling that, because people were throwing mud balls at us and stuff like, and it was like, we were filthy. We were just mud down. We went home and it was like, don't you dare come in this house. Get out there. Where's the hose?
But did you notice how you were all of you were electrified? You had more energy, you were just gone because you were being electrified.
If I'm being honest, I was a kid and
You
I was
didn't know
electrified
that.
anyway.
I knew
I didn't know. But so yeah, stories aside, there are products that you can still get the grounding indoors.
Yes.
Okay, and we're going to talk about that afterwards. So stay tuned, and we're going to talk a lot about grounding in general. It's also, you might fondly think of it as vitamin G.
Oh yeah.
G for
yeah,
grounding.
Oh yeah.
Or even, any kind of electron nutrition. Think of it as your nutrition. Instead of taking vitamins, you take electrons, right? That'll be some of your nutrition. Also, you might think of it as green. Vitamin G, because the green, the green outside, loving the earth and letting the earth love you, right? So the whole greenness.
That is true. You think of vitamin D for the sun.
That's true.
15 minutes a day, you got vitamin D for the day.
Yeah.
Well, vitamin G works right in that. All you got to do is get it down into your body, into your feet, into your skin, and you just ground yourself.
That's true.
Electrify yourself.
Yes. And
Woo!
if you
Energize the bunny. Oh, I thought of that. I'm sorry. Well, if you feel really low, just go on and get out there and get your battery charged.
Exactly. So that's what that is.
I'm
so
sorry.
some people may have heard of electron deficiency syndrome. You're deficient in electrons.
Yep.
This will play a big role in helping with that.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of benefits with health disorders and lots of stuff. And we're going to get into the benefits. I mean, there are a lot of them, guys. You're going to be really pleasantly surprised. But in the meantime, what is it's direct contact with the earth, whether it's barefoot,
right.
grass, soil, dirt, mud. It can be gravel, rocks, stones. You know how sometimes you go out into a park and you'll sit on a stone and maybe read a book or sit there and take a break or whatever. All of these things are conductive. And they're going to give you that those electrons that we're talking about. You could stand up and just stand there and get it. You could sit on a chair and plant your feet in the ground and just on the ground and get it. You could lie on the ground. Okay, I got really feisty the other day, and I had on shorts and a tank top, and I went out in the grass, and I just laid out on the grass. The sun was out.
Oh, I
so
wish I
nice.
could do that.
I'll do it for you. You can live vicariously through me.
You could do it for me.
I
used to do it.
I'll call you and be like, I'm doing it now. I'm laying on a
Oh, it feels so good.
But
you're just energizing me, and it's free.
And I mean,
You
I
don't
think
even
past
have to
the
pay
itch.
anything
Yeah,
for
that's
it.
true. That's true.
Jesus.
Well, you have to pay for maybe some itch medicine after. No, just kidding.
No.
So sometimes the grass is itchy, but find a spot, okay? Also on the beach, if you're a beach guy or girl, beach comber, lay out on the sand in the beach, right? Maybe the wet sand. You know, sometimes you sit on where the water's meeting the shore.
Yeah.
And you don't really want to go out too far. You might just sit there and let the waves come, but you're sitting in the sand. Water is super conductive, so you're getting even more. Any natural body of water is going to do this. Not a pool, though, not a swimming pool, but a natural body of water.
But can you see how we've been doing this all our lives?
Yeah.
And it never, well, for me, I've been doing it for all my life, but we all have. We have, you've been to the beach, you've had the water go on your feet, you've been sitting in the sand, you've been doing something you've done all your life. And I know I never thought of it as being that vitamin G, that needed in order for me to stay electrified, so to speak, electrons.
Yeah, I get that.
I never thought that I needed my battery charged.
Well, mainly because you didn't, because you were out there.
That is true.
See,
you
we
know
were
what?
out
That's
there.
True. That's true.
This generation has a very different childhood. They don't spend the time outside the way that I did, and then the way
That's
you did in your
true.
generation. You were outside all the time. You were barefoot running around. You were in the water,
Yes,
or
yes,
you
yes,
were always out in the world, touching the earth. You were
That
just
is so
always
true.
out there. We used to play basketball barefoot. I mean, we were ridiculous.
I know,
really.
it was-
We just
yeah.
wanted to be barefoot
Yeah.
like all the time.
I used to ride a bike.
Oh yeah.
Barefoot. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
barefoot was it.
Yeah, so getting that vitamin in whatever way you want to, whether it be beach or not the beach. And people who garden, I mean, certainly your hands are all in the soil. So
yeah.
right. So this is not, when we say grounding though, just caveat, this is not the grounding technique used in sort of anxiety or to bring you down from any type of anxiety attack or anything. That's
Some
grounding.
emotional issues.
Emotional grounding. This is not the same as emotional grounding, okay? This is not a technique
Right.
to do.
Right.
This is more of a therapy, a practice that you do as part of your lifestyle.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a little bit different than that. So the goal is to restore the electric connection to the earth, that to take the electrons from the earth. That is the goal, because they've been lost and we just kind of need them and we don't get them. So that is the goal of grounding, to restore the electric connection to the earth and get the electrons from the earth. That is the goal. So why should you do that? You're wondering, why are you asking me to do that? And how does that actually work? How do you get the electrons out of the earth, right? You've probably heard about intermittent fasting. You've maybe even tried it. Maybe it didn't work out for you. Maybe you didn't get great results. Or maybe you just need a reset. But either way, we've got this free intermittent fasting guide for you. It's got lots of colorful pictures and lots of information with a 2-week plan to get you started intermittent fasting and enjoying the amazing benefits. So check the link below if you're watching YouTube, and if you're on the podcast, check the show notes. Get that link.
And it's easier than you think.
Yeah, so go get it. So how does that work? We'll talk about it a little bit. So any thoughts about how that works?
You mean getting the electrons into our body? Well, first of all, we're constantly losing.
Like, how does it work? I mean, we're electric, like you said, we're electric beings. We're electric.
Oh, yeah, the positive and negative you're talking about,
Yeah,
right?
we are electric beings. We have so much electricity inside of us already. Right. We have charged ions because we have so much fluid. Our bodies are water. Like, we're bags of water, really. Like 60, 70%.
70% is water. 70% is water.
Yeah. So water is
So
one of the
we got the electrical conduction. I mean, we got that for sure.
Oh, for sure. And so our cells, they can generate these electrical charges.
Yeah.
And this is what we're connecting with the earth. Earth being the massive electron. It's free. You need some electrons, don't go to the store. The earth has got tons and tons, a whole reservoir of free electrons for you and me.
That's right.
But we got to tap in. If you want to get them, you got to go tap in.
And it's so easy to tap in. You know, all my life, well, at least 30, 40 years now of my life, I've been walking barefoot.
Don't do that. You still do that now.
Every
Don't
day.
do that.
Every day. Oh, but here's the story.
She is okay. She's always barefoot. We'll go out somewhere and they'll be like, "Oh, I forgot my shoes. I can't go into the whatever."
It's true. But let me tell you what I started doing. So what did I do? I went and bought grounding shoes.
Okay.
These little funny looking things that stick close to the ground when you put your feet in, so that I won't be in sin, because I felt bad. I didn't know I was doing it all these years.
Well, now you know.
And then I thought, well, I've been doing them all these years. Why you want to stop me now? It can't be a sin now. Oh, yes,
okay, you don't get to
because
do
when you know better. Yeah,
wow.
I couldn't get rid of that
okay.
one. But anyway, I'm sorry, Jamie. I had to say that story because it dawned on me when he said that a couple of weeks ago. And then we were doing this on earthing, and I said, "You're kidding me. This kid really put me to the test."
I guess so.
But these shoes are so funny looking, but you know what? They're comfortable. Matter of fact, my grandson came this morning, my Jonah, and he had him on walking out because he listened to everything we say. He's out there grounding with them. Just thought it was so cute. But anyway.
But the shoes means you don't have to go outside. You could do it inside. But
You
anyway,
can, you
the
can,
point is-
yeah, that's true. But the shoes mean I can get out of the vehicle in case I gotta get gas or I gotta go in the store for a minute. That's fine for those shoes.
Right.
But anyway, it was just funny to think about. I'm sorry.
So we are electrical beings.
Yes.
We are electric. We have high amounts of charged ions. In the fluids, our bodies are full of fluids. We're sacks of water. What are we? 60, 70% water. So we have all this conductivity in us, right? The cells, they can generate electrical charges.
Yep.
So here we are, this electrical being, and then here's the earth. The earth is this massive,
Constant negative going on.
yes.
Always negative.
It's massive, and it's got a lot of surface area, and it's got negative electrical charge just all the time.
Negative ions all
So
the
yes,
time.
all the time. So here's us, and then there's this negative ion earth, and it's like, ding, a marriage made in heaven.
Yeah, because we're positive. So it's,
So, I mean, we're mostly positive because we're so dysfunctional, to be
That's
honest.
true.
We don't have to be mostly
That's
that.
true.
We build up a lot of positive electric charge
We do.
for all that we're exposed to and what we're all doing.
Yeah.
We have this, lots of electromagnetic radiation around us. We've got computers and cells. Matter of fact, us
Might
doing
be doing this, might be doing it.
right here, we have the electric
All
from
that
here.
EMF,
We have this.
everything.
We have all these things going on that in radio and TV broadcasts. We have the Wi-Fi, power lines, Bluetooth, appliances, like all this stuff going on around us, and then the amount of time we spend on screens and devices and all that. So you take all that and you have all these positive, buildup, electric buildup. So it creates a higher voltage in our body, more voltage than we should have.
And then we don't feel well. We wonder why we're not feeling well. We wonder why, I got a headache. Why am I so distraught today? What is going on? We wonder about all these things.
Yeah,
and these things are constantly bombarding us consistently at all times. And no matter what, they tell us, we still don't listen. Keep your phone away. Do
we
this,
have it
do
near.
that, do that. We don't listen.
Right.
Okay. So I'm getting a test up, but anyway, we'll
Part
talk
of our
about that
part
later.
of our lives is where you're so tied to it. I mean, you're in
Oh,
office.
yeah. Oh,
you work.
absolutely.
You work on the road. You have your phone. It's just everything is. The world is set up that way now. Like we've spent a lot of time getting connected. And so it's disrupting the trillions of subtle electrical sort of communications. All of this stuff that's a vital part of who we are in our functioning as a human body are being disrupted all the time. And so, we can absorb the Earth's negative ions via skin, right? By touching the Earth, we can absorb those negative ions. And because we're 70% water, we can conduct those ions right in to us, and they start to couple up with the positive, and we start to bring our balance back into balance.
And that's important. It's not even should I or could I. It is you'd better do it.
Yeah.
If you want to feel any way that you're in a normal state and that your body, your creation is becoming is at least honoring that perfect creation, how dare we not do it? See, but the thing is, we don't know. We don't know that we're a battery. A lot of people don't know they're
probably
electric.
not. That's probably not common, like a common thing. to
People
think
don't
about.
get that we need
Probably not.
electricity,
Probably not.
and they're not getting that. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that at this point about it's because I'm a battery. I need my. I
mean, think about it. The body runs on electricity. The heart, it beats.
It beats with it. That's right. That's how it beats.
The brain, it thinks.
That's
The nervous system. All of these are right electrically.
Muscles.
Yes.
The muscles. Everything.
Yes.
Especially immune system.
Yeah. All these tiny electrical signals moving throughout our body, and the electrons that we absorb from, you know, the earth works as natural antioxidants, whereas the ones that we get from these other sources are not as lovely for us.
Absolutely.
And so grounding neutralizes all those positive charges that we have. By absorbing the negative electrons, it balances us out.
Because it's natural.
Yes.
It comes from the creation of how the body is created.
Yeah.
That is a natural phenomenon. You don't have to go outside and get anything. Just go into the ground. And
Exactly. I mean, think about an EKG or an EEG. You know, these are electrocardiogram or the electroencephalogram. So that they can get an image of what's going on in our brain or in our heart or whatever, and they get all those electrical pulses and things that they're measuring, because that's what we are. We're full of electricity.
That's it.
So, you know, I think about the body electric, and even Walt Whitman with the poem "The Body Electric." And,
oh God.
And Fame back in the, who knows about Fame
Oh
back
my
in
God.
the 70s, late 70s maybe?
Maybe I didn't listen to them.
Early
You were
80s.
listening to them.
Fame, I want to live forever.
Forever. That's the only song I know for
Well,
it.
they had a song when they did at the end, when they had their big showcase of all of their talent. They did I Sing the Body Electric.
Oh God.
And they were all singing about all of that, and it was like, yes.
So that's what it reminds you of.
Yes.
Huh?
So when I'm outside grounding, I'm like, the body electric. Anyway, the sun is positive. We are positive. The sun is positive. And when I say this, please don't, you know, feel like you have to comment about how technically I'm not right, because technically we're neutral, because we have positive, negative all the time, and up and down and all of that. But I'm saying in today's society, we are overrun with positive. And so if we go get some negative, we are going to bring ourselves down to a place that is more balanced. And that's what I mean by we are positive, right? So your earth being negative, lightning, the earth is being lit up by lightning all the time. Matter of fact, I have some stats on that. Hold on.
All the time.
All right, so listen to this. I got some stats. There's an estimated 16 million thunderstorms per year around the globe. 16 million per year. So at any given moment, like right now, about 2,000 thunderstorms are happening right now. Another 2,000. Another 2,000.
Right.
Another 2,000.
Every second.
Right? 100 lightning bolts striking the Earth's surface every second. 100 lightning bolts. That's a lot. So all that negative ion happening is like, yeah, man, give me some of that. And that's what we're talking about, grounding.
And just to bring this out, because I just feel it, and it really hits me hard to know it, those negative ions from all of that you just heard.
Yeah.
Imagine the Creator has made sure that we have them available at all times.
I agree.
Because that's how our body works.
Yes.
That's like, oh my God.
Yes. That's pretty stunning.
Whew.
For sure.
Mm.
Amen.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk some more. We'll talk
On
some
that,
more.
yeah, because
but it
that's
is,
amazing.
yeah, I mean, the lightning is out there. The storms are out there. I mean, just think of how you feel after a thunderstorm. You know, after it's done, it's calmed, you go outside, the air, it smells a certain way, and it's so fresh, and you just feel a certain way after that. Think of capture that feeling, put it in a bottle, and capture that. Yep. That's the whole negative ions have washed away a lot of things, and the earth is awash with negative ions, and it's like, it's amazing.
It is.
So think about capturing that and putting that in your body whenever you want to by grounding outside. So let's see. So now, where did this grounding come from? Because you're probably being like, I've never heard of this. A lot of people, or maybe just kind of slightly, but not so much. I know I used to think, when I heard people say grounding, I used to think it was a walking around barefoot. And so I'm like, why are we calling it grounding? You're just walking around barefoot. This is We've been walking around barefoot since the beginning of time. Why are we naming it? But I realize it's not simply walking around barefoot. There's a whole science behind it, and there's a lot behind it. So where it came from, there's like a lot to be said about. Just historically, we were always grounded. I mean, we walked around barefoot as humans. I mean, shoes are a new thing, guys. Through the thousands of years, right? So we walked around barefoot. Back in Jesus' day, they wore sandals, but they were not made of synthetic things. These things were made from whatever was available, the earth, plants, animals. This is where these things are made from. And they're all conductive, right? So we were in animal, maybe like moccasins or it's leather sandals or something like that. So these are natural fibers which conduct the earth. So basically, they were all grounded.
All the animal skins they used. And
they didn't get in any vehicle. They walked everywhere.
That's right.
So they were grounded automatically. They slept on the ground or on animal skins. I mean, you see how all of that, it was automatically that way. Through progress. Where air quotes, progress. We ride in cars with rubber tires. We ride on bikes. We don't walk very much, and if we do, we have on rubber soles. I mean, we're indoors a lot. I mean, we're so removed from that. It's the concrete, the asphalt, the tar on the street. If we are walking, I mean, everything is blocking between the earth and its negative charge and us. We have all these things in between, blocking all that from happening, right? So
blocking us from being charged,
right? And then just being indoors all the time is another. Like, you're not even outside; you're inside. You have a subfloor and another subfloor. You have a foundation. You have all these things that are separated. You get in bed. Your bed is elevated. You're sleeping up high off the ground. Like everything is moving us away from connecting nature. With the earth. Yes.
From the nature.
Yes, and unbeknownst to us, I mean, I'm not saying people were doing that on purpose. We thought, we're just progressing. We're trying to be more comfortable and blah, blah, blah. But we didn't understand that our comfort, there's a price for that comfort, right? And so enter Clint Ober. So Clint Ober is like the guy.
Man.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Yeah.
So when you talk about grounding, he's the guy. Like, I don't want to say he invented it because God made the earth.
That's right.
But he discovered this connection, right? And that's a big deal.
Oh, absolutely. And he was very sickly, so it kind of lent itself to that. Why? Why am I? And the questions and he kind of researched the. I think he stumbled on it, kind of.
Yeah, he did. He actually was in cable. Remember when cable first started back in the 60s, 70s?
Oh yeah.
Whenever they started laying cable, he was a cable guy, and so he was doing the wires up in the poles and everything, and he knew that they needed to be grounded. The wires needed to be grounded. So he has sort of this experience of grounding electricity and keeping it in the earth. And so he wondered, like, at some point, like, I wonder if, this grounding concept can somehow apply to humans, and maybe grounding helps to get a clear picture. It pushes away all of the interference, you know what I mean? So I wonder if that can apply to humans and kind of take the interference away to help our health. And it was like sort of these thoughts he was thinking about, and the rubber shoes that came out in the 60s.
In the 60s was the worst thing that ever happened.
Well, according to Clint, it is.
But if you think about it, if you think of it yourself with what you know now, because when you know better, you do better. When you think about the 1960s and how they came out with Nike and they came out with the PF Flyers and all that, all those synthetic. Yeah. That was the worst. Think about it. The worst thing that could have happened.
One of the worst. There's a lot of worst.
Oh no, I know in the world, but for this electric, for the battery charge, that was the worst thing could ever happen because it stopped us from being charged.
Right.
it interfered with us.
Right.
And so now we're going downhill. We're getting no electrolytes. No, I mean, people are complaining about everything.
Yeah.
Because of the feet, what they're wearing.
The rubber soles, the synthetic soles. All of our shoes have these synthetic soles on them that separate us, and it's literally blocks. So when the ions are coming, it literally is like, nah, I don't want that. So it blocks it. So we all wear shoes all the time, and now it's, there is safety issues. There's, I don't like to be dirty. Like, there's lots of reasons why people don't want to go barefoot. And then there's lots of people who like to go barefoot, like me. But the point is, our society, we wear rubber shoes. That's what we do. And so because of that, it makes it very difficult to get that negative charge. And so he, you were saying he was sickly. He became ill. I think it was like the mid-90s or so.
Right.
He got some serious liver stuff going on, and he had an operation. He had, I mean, it was serious. He may even have died.
Yes.
It was very serious.
Yes.
But even through that, he started thinking about, what can we do here with this grounding thing? I don't know what's going on with the grounding thing. Yep. And so through many, many thoughts and inspirations, he actually went out and did this sort of experiment on himself. He went to the hardware store, he got a voltometer, and he was checking the voltages around the hotel room, like, where's the electricity coming from? Yeah. And so he noticed, it's over here by the appliances, and it's down here, it's over here. And he noticed where the electricity was flowing, and he thought, if I could put something together where I can kind of ground this electricity. So he, made this sort of makeshifty thing for his bed, and he slept on it. And he woke up the next day completely refreshed. He fell asleep and he was refreshed.
Didn't he stick something in the ground that connected to the
to ground himself. Yeah. He made his own
and he stuck it in the ground so that it would ground him while he's sleeping
and slept.
And it's so
and
cool.
He woke up feeling amazed. He slept all the way through. He slept right away. Cool. And evidently since his surgery however long ago, he hadn't been able to sleep. So right. It was really profound that he slept so well. He went and told his friends, like, hey, let me make your bed, like, let me put this thing on your bed and see if you can sleep in. And that was sort of it. He was onto something. So he really was excited. He was shopping it around. Of course, nobody wanted to hear it. He couldn't get anybody to buy into it. He actually funded his own research because he was so clear, but he just couldn't get anybody to buy in. So he did do that, and he ended up doing these different studies. And so what does he say? So his theory, he has this theory, and this is the theory he was proving. His theory is that to grounding the human body to the earth, it normalizes the function of the body's systems, all the systems of the body. It utilizes the earth's electrical potential and those electrons to maintain this amazing stability in the body. So that was his, his theory he had to prove with his studies and such. And there's still a lot of research that needs to be done because science likes to have tons of research, right? Whereas we can take a little research and some anecdotal and we're pretty good. But science has done quite a lot since then. It would have been the early 2000s when finally it was like, yikes, this guy's onto something.
Yep.
And science started because he funded his own studies and he showed a bunch of stuff. So then science jumped on board. But it took a while. And think about if he never did that. Think about all the things you think of or do that nobody will back you. And if you don't do the extra, it just doesn't get done. It doesn't happen. But
for me, what was big for me, when I started discovering certain things, especially lately, doing this study was so awesome. But you know what? The biggest part for me, the biggest part, takeaway that I have in this, electrons that we get from the earth takes away inflammation in your body. They cannot go together. All my life, I'm dealing with inflammation. Every sickness, every pain, everything is from inflammation. inflammation. Now that much we know.
Yeah.
When you're sick and you're not feeling well, there's inflammation.
Right.
Period.
Right.
They tell you to ice yourself and heat yourself. Well, heat brings it out. Ice brings it down. You know, the inflammation. To me, that's the greatest story right there.
Yeah, for sure.
That when I go out into that ground, I get rid of inflammation.
Yes.
I get rid of it.
That's real. For sure.
Because they cannot go together.
Yes. And I actually, there are studies, and we'll talk more about that. But anecdotally, I can tell you myself. I went to a trampoline park with my kids.
Oh, right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, I know I'm an old lady and I'm at the trampoline park.
Yeah, sure.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I went to the trampoline park, super fun. I was bouncing and doing all this.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really thought I was a lot stronger than I was, I will say. So I will be doing some more some weightlifting.
Yeah,
I gotta firm up. But anyway,
that
that was the whole Ninja Warrior course.
Yeah.
That looks so much easier than it is.
Yes,
It's anyway. So trampoline, back to bouncing. So I'm bouncing on the trampoline, and so the trampolines they have like a bunch of little small ones and like big ones, and they're all lined with padding. Like they have all this sort of padding around the edge. Well, this particular place had pink padding. It was all around the edges with pink. So you always knew where the trampoline stopped and where the padding was.
Okay.
So if you were bouncing a little bit, you could jump on the padding and just kind of chill on the side, waiting for somebody to finish their trick and then jump back on.
Yeah.
So we're doing whatever. Well, I go to get off and they're like, come on, let's go to the other thing. I bounce to the ends and I bounce and all of a sudden it's like boom. The end didn't have a pink padding. It was black. It was pink, it was black. So it looked like it was part of the trampoline, but it wasn't. It was actually not. So as I bounced over, doink, doink, it was like, doom. And my ankle went, why was this happening? And I was like, ouch, that hurt. Like, what is going on? Shook it off, went on. We did other things. We went to the rock climbing. We went up high to the ropes course. We did all this, zip lining, flying. We did all this fun, cool stuff. My ankle was fine. Everything's cool. We leave. Let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, let's go do stuff. We went and ate, sat there. Nothing. I'm cool. Nothing. I mean, I might have felt a little, but it was fine. I get home and I'm like, all right, I did a lot of climbing, use these muscles in my core. I'm going to get in the hot tub and I'm going to, get some heat on me so tomorrow I won't be sore with my core and my muscles. Let me tell you what. I got out of there and my ankle got swollen and started hurting. And I was like, what is going on? My ankle was fine. Obviously, it wasn't as fine as I thought, but the heat in the hot tub, it just
brought it on.
That is the opposite, by the way, of what you do with a swollen or a hurt. You use cold, but I didn't know. So needless to say, I elevated that night, iced it, The next day, I decided to fast.
Yes.
So if I can fast and get some autophagy going for a couple of days, can help heal it. But also I went out and I grounded.
That's right.
So I grounded the first day, I grounded the second day. So let me tell you this, when I went out and grounded, I was out there, that's the time I laid out. I laid out in the grass. So I had all my arms, my legs, I was just laying out. 25 minutes maybe. I came in the house and I'm not gonna kid you, my ankle swelling was near about gone. Just from laying out there for 25 minutes. And my range of motion, you know how you can feel the swelling, like it kind of stops you from moving?
Yeah.
It was just...
The stiffness is gone.
Yeah. I thought to myself, this can't be right. I zoomed in let me really remember, this can't be right. This can't be. But it was. And so the next day, same thing. I iced. And the next day it was a little swollen in the morning. I went out and grounded. And once again, the inflammation, it just dissipated. Just like that. I was mind blown. Mind blown by that. But that's the difference between what that's showing you what the grounding. So you take that and then you get some studies done. And publish some peer-reviewed stuff. And now you're talking. This is legit.
And you know what's so wonderful too? If I know, and I know that grounding really does, it just doesn't correspond with the inflammation. Inflammation has to go. It has to go. And when I notice it's not gone, or it's some gone,
Yeah.
I keep doing it till it's gone.
Yeah.
Because that means I need more. I need more electrical. I need more electrons. I need more.
Yeah.
Because they do not go together.
Right.
It has to flee.
Yes. And even if it flees in smaller, but like this,
Yeah,
it was
smaller,
completely gone.
Yeah.
But, and we'll talk some more because there is such thing as easing in. How healthy are you? Like, and we'll talk some more about that. But the point is, you see it going the right direction. Keep it going the right direction.
Keep it going till it's gone.
So, I mean, I know we said a lot, and there's a lot more yet to go. I mean, we still can talk to you about some of the studies that were done to show you that this is legitimate. We can talk about how to do the grounding in the earth. How do you do it? Like, and how long do you do it? And what are the actual benefits that you can get from this? And some of the other products that you can use. So we have so much more to say. But we're going to wrap up this episode because we gave you a lot to think about. And you can go do some research yourself and just start plugging in. And then tune in the next time and we're going to give you the rest of it, which is really going to round out the entire conversation about earthing and grounding.
Grounding, yeah.
So yay, that was cool.
So I walked away with this particular episode with inflammation and grounding. Inflammation, electrons do not go together. What I mean is electrons gets rid of inflammation. Keep it simple.
Right. Well, that would be earth electrons, not
of course. Oh
not
no, we're not gonna. Yeah. Don't.
Yeah. So have an awesome week.
Yes.
Thumbs up. Hit the like button.
Yes.
And join us so that we can talk more about this amazing subject.
Yep. Get on the Facebook community. Ask your questions. We got them all.
We
got all the answers for you.
All right. Well, have a good one. Go get some grounding. Go get those feet on the ground this week.
Hey, take your shoes off.
Bye.
Bye-bye.